Hey guys, I'm Deepti and in this video we're going to be talking about my ultimate hit list of products. So I'm going to be talking about top 3 or more products from each brand that I absolutely love. This you can also count it as my Nykaa hot pink sale recommendation because these sales happen so often that I'm not sure if I want to keep doing the same thing again and again. I just had this video idea in mind for the longest time and I thought it would be really helpful, so I'm doing this video in parts. So I want to cover the high-end brands in this video and doing the affordable brands in the next video. So I'm planning to film that right after this as well. So I'm not sure how the videos will go up on my channel, but I will try my best to get both of it like almost simultaneously because it's a little bit hard to edit. Anyways, I don't want the video to get too long and that's the reason I'm splitting it as well. And like I mentioned, I'm not very aware of what are the products that are going on sale, but I'm talking about products that I really love. So sometimes there are going to be more than 3 products in certain brands because I feel like they are that good and I can't miss out on these products. And sometimes I'm combining 2 or 3 categories as well. And when it comes to Nykaa sale, I feel like, a lot of people actually really look forward to these sales and when you want to try out a certain product, and especially brands exclusive to Nykaa. So I have considered all of these factors and where you can actually get good discounts as well. So I've tried to combine it that way as well. But the good thing is that most of these products are on discount. Most of these products are also my favorites. So we get the best of both. And of course, as per usual, just because the sale is happening, you don't really have to buy something you don't need. Money not spent is money saved, just because it's on a discount, it's not like you're saving money until and unless, of course, you really need that product. It's not what you want, if you need it, I think you can spend on it. Of course, if you don't really have the budget, you don't really need these products, you can definitely skip this video, but this is just like my recommendations, my ultimate hit list. You can watch it for fun, or if you feel like you get tempted when you watch these videos and you end up purchasing even if you don't need, of course, you can skip this video because it's right in time for the sale and it's also my sale recommendations. So anyways, let's get started. The first brand I want to talk about is MAC Cosmetics. This one is the MAC Studio Fix Radiance Foundation. I saw that this is on discount. This is a pretty comparatively recent launch and I can see that it's going on a 25% discount. Now, straight up, I don't really know what are the products and what are the discounts on each brand because it's not revealed to me as well. Like usually affiliates, you get to know the discount, but they haven't revealed it as such, like the brand wise. So I just had to go through the website and then pick up some of it, and it was a little bit of a tedious process, so I thought I'll just include my favorite products irrespective of the discount or not. So if it is on a discount, you can pick it up. If not, you can skip on it. But this I did see it is on a discount on 25% off, which is a pretty good deal to purchase this foundation because it is a really nice radiant looking foundation that doesn't cling on to your dry skin. It doesn't cling on to any dry patches. It looks nice and glowy, almost skin like. It is a skincare infused foundation. It does have shimmer particles, like if you pump on your hand and then leave it on your hand for a while and then check it out, it does have a little bit of shimmer particles, but it doesn't translate that way on your face. It's a nice foundation to try out. The shade range of this doesn't correlate with the Studio Fix Fluid Foundation, so I'm not sure of my shade in that exactly because I have tried out a couple of different shades and none of it worked out for me. But in this, I have the shade NC25 actually, which is a pretty good match. Now, just because the number is lower doesn't mean it should match you. It's just that the this one doesn't pull as yellow or as orange on my skin, and it actually blends out pretty well on my skin tone. I think the shade NC35 would have been a little too golden. I'm not sure of the shade NC37. Maybe that would have matched me, but I tried out NC25 and once I blend it out, it's actually a pretty good match for my skin tone. I really like this foundation and it would work out for pretty much all skin types. And then another must-have purchase from MAC for me, particularly right now, is the Macstack mascara. You can pick up the waterproof one or the non-waterproof one, but this is one of the best mascaras I've tried out, and this is like my go-to mascara these days. I have a couple of other mascaras as well. You would see, like, I'm trying out constantly new products. I will, I am bound to fall in love with a lot of different mascaras, but this is a definitely unbeatable product in my opinion because, it just makes your eyelashes nice and voluminous. It also adds a really good amount of length, and also it looks black, you know, not that powdery black, nice and coated shiny black, but it doesn't flake away from your lashes in like 3 to 4 hours. It doesn't settle on your under eye area, it doesn't make it like powdery black looking, which happens to me with the Huda Beauty mascara. Though really good, it does happen quite a bit and can tend to look dry on the lashes, but it doesn't happen with this one. It is such a good mascara, and if you can find this on discount, I don't think you guys would be disappointed with this at all. It's a really good product. And then another like must-have product, something I use pretty much every single day. I do have quite a few products I switch out because I feel like, you know, I shouldn't be partial, or I tend to switch out a lot of my products and I'm like, oh, this is not used for a while, let me try this out as well. So this one is the MAC concealer palette. I have this one in the shade medium deep, and I feel like it's a pretty good match for my skin tone. It doesn't necessarily work out only for people of medium deep skin tones. Even if you're of a medium skin tone but have intense pigmentation and under eye circles, you can try this out. I pretty much stick to like these 3 shades in this. This of course works as a good contour shade, but just these 3 shades all over my skin tone. It could be a little bit darker, so I just use this on like where I need to mask up the pigmentation, so this works out really well. This orange color corrector is not too stark in orange, like it's not a very pigmented orange color corrector, so it works out really well. The formulation of this one is such that it doesn't dry your skin out all the more. You don't really have to even set it. It's very long wearing, and if you are a makeup artist or you're just building your makeup kit and you feel like, you know, and you feel like you're actually investing in a lot of products, because all of our face is not even toned. Most of us have pigmentation, we have a little bit of discoloration, so we do need different shades of products just to make it look even. So in that case, you can try out this product. Of course, if you have like even beautiful looking skin, first of all, get out of here. Like, don't watch this video if you have really good skin, because I'm jealous, you know. All of that aside, I don't think you need a concealer palette. You can invest in their single pot concealers as well. They're really good. And my go-to these days, my go-to product is this. This one is the MAC Powder Case Liquid Lipstick. I talk about this in every sale because these go on good discounts, and no matter how many shades of this you own, you wouldn't regret, because these work as the perfect lip toppers, perfect lip shades for like a very long day when you have very dry lips and you want your lips to look blurred. That's what I'm getting at, like blurred out lips. You would love this one. There are a lot of affordable options in the market, but I don't feel like anything comes quite close to the formulation of this one in terms of pigmentation, in terms of that blurring effect, in terms of the hydration it gives. But if you want a very long wearing liquid lipstick, hold on. This is not the shade that I use every day, but this is something I have I have another shade called Meticulous, which is more like an orange toned nude shade. I don't know in which bag I've kept that, but that is my go-to everyday shade as well. It's very long wearing, very lightweight, hydrating on the lips, and a very unique formulation this is. It's not the most pigmented liquid lipstick, so if you have very pigmented lips, I think you would probably need a lip liner underneath it, like completely filled in. But if you wanted a long wearing matte transfer proof lipstick, next is Huda Beauty concealer and color corrector. This I'm counting it as one product, even though I already exceeded the category, like number of products in each category. Both of these really nice products. The color corrector is what I pretty much use all the time. It's what I have underneath my eyes today as well. It's a peach color corrector, which works out pretty well for my under eye area, except the inner corner darkness where I need something a little bit more. These days it's on another level, okay? But I like the formulation of this. Even though it's a peach shade, you would expect it to look a little bit cakey or dry underneath the eyes and maybe dry your under eye area out, but no. Nice shade, nice formulation, and not too stark again. This is also really nice and pigmented. I have this one in the shade 4.5G, which is a really good like medium high coverage concealer. Again, not too dry and creamy, blendable, and yeah, does fade away from the inner corner of my eye. Not as long lasting as my Too Faced concealer is, but really good for like day-to-day use. Easy Bake Loose Powder. I have not seen even one person like regret purchasing this product because it is that good. It's the most finely milled loose powder I own, and even if you have dry skin, it wouldn't dry your skin out all the more. It also has a little bit of a blurring luminous finish, not because it has shimmer particles in it, it's because it is made that way. It's just one of the best loose powders I own. Their mascara, you can try out the One Coat Wow mascara. Okay, this gives really good length, volume and all of that, but over time it can get a little bit flaky and it gets onto your lower lashes. This is the mascara that I mentioned, you know. The MAC one doesn't do that, this one does it, but the volume and the length and everything is so good. Really nice. Even there, like the dual-ended mascara is one of my favorite. That's what I mentioned, you know, when I start talking about this particular brand, it just like I can't stop. I like the foundation as well, but it's very full coverage. They have gone fragrance free with most of their products, so that's a good thing. And then their eyeshadow palettes, and then their pretty grunge face gloss. I use this so much because, you know, you don't really have to use a highlighter with this. It has a subtle pink tint and it just gives you that like sheeny wet look on your face for day-to-day usage as well. So really nice product. And then coming to their eyeshadows, which I'm combining it as one category, you can try out the Nude Rich eyeshadow palette, which has beautiful shades for deeper skin tones. This one is the Empowered eyeshadow palette, which is really nice, warm shades, nice golden shades, very pigmented, deep skin tone friendly. And the Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette is also really nice. It is a good color scheme, but if you have this Nude Rich, I don't think you need this one. You know what I mean? Like they're of a similar color family, so if you own this, don't pick up this one, and if you own this one, I don't think you need the Naughty Nude eyeshadow palette. Moving on to Lancome. With Lancome, I haven't tried out their lipsticks or other like products like their mascara and everything, but what I did try out, I love. This one is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra Wear All Cover Concealer. This is my everyday must-have go-to concealer these days. I wear this pretty much all the time. If I'm getting ready, this is the concealer that I'm wearing because it's very skin-like. The shade I got is 420 or /051. Which is a perfect match for my skin tone. I mean, it is a tad bit like orange, warmer, but you can't really make out because it's not the most pigmented concealer. And also when I have pigmentation and under eye circle, it masks it really well. It's a light medium to medium coverage concealer, but very long wearing, very skin-like, not at all drying. Beautiful if you have dry under eye area or you have mature skin, you have a lot of wrinkles underneath your eyes. This is your friend, okay? You would love this. But if you have like very, very intense dark circles, I'm not sure if you'd like this on its own. Maybe you would need a little bit of color correction, which most of us do need it. So this is a great product that I tried out and I was blown away. And by blown away, I mean like literally every single day I've been using this. This one, the Nude Sticks Tinted Cover Foundation, all of this is like a match made in heaven. But an affordable alternative to this would be the NYX Serum Concealer. Very similar. And then I also really like the Lancome Ultra Wear Foundation. I expected this to be super matte and like, oh no, maybe it wouldn't work out for my skin type, but it does. It's what I have on my face right now, mixed in with another foundation, but I really like it. It has a little bit of a dewy finish and a pretty good medium coverage and very like everyday friendly foundation. Again, I have this one in the shade 345N, which is a little bit lighter for me right now because I'm a little bit more tan than I'm usually towards the end of the year, where I did buy this almost like during that Jan-Feb months where I didn't really have this much of a tan. So, and then another product from Lancome that I love is this Lancome Idol fragrance. Like the packaging, I'm not the biggest fan of, you know, as opposed to what a lot of people tell. I feel like it's a little too flat. And I feel like it's harder to store this. And also the pump is not the best. Like when you spritz it on, it's just not spritzing it properly. It's like spraying everywhere. But the scent, you smell like a meadow, you know, floral, but a little bit of sweetness. The sillage is beautiful. This dry down of this perfume is really, really nice. I got the 100 ml one because when I was in the mall, I spritzed this perfume on. And when I came back home, I was like, what does that smell? Why am I smelling so good? It was this one. And also another perfume which I also did pick up, and I will talk to you guys about my favorite perfumes in just a bit, but this is also one of my favorite perfumes. It's very, very long lasting, you guys. So good. And then moving on to Too Faced. Too Faced. Of course, the Born This Way foundation, a very nice skin-like foundation. You know, you can keep it at medium high coverage as well. Not really like skin-like. What I mean is, it has the right amount of pigmentation. You can keep it at light medium coverage. You can build on it. It gives you that it gives you that smooth looking skin, and it just looks very, very nice. And even till date, it's like a timeless beauty kind of a product. It's like, no matter when you pick it up, you would always love it. It will never go out of trend, at least for me, because like if you have a special occasion, you want your skin to look flawless, you're going through things with your skin, this will fix it. This will fix everything for you. And then I have the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. Like in between, I just stopped using this concealer. I was like, oh no, it's too full coverage for my liking, you know. I just want something that's very skin-like. I feel like it's a little too drying maybe, and all of that, because I was in a phase where I just wanted very lightly pigmented products. But life had other plans. My baby was not sleeping for a month. Just imagine what was going through with me. So my dark circles increased, my pigmentation and everything was on another level. So that time, no other product I was reaching out for except this one. Maybe there could be products that could have fixed it, but I was only satisfied using this concealer. And this is what I have underneath my eyes as well. And I haven't even set it. I love the finish. I love the coverage. I don't find it to be drying at all. Even though I am sort of like of the normal to dry skin category, it still looks really nice and smooth underneath the eyes. And this is the most long wearing concealer I own in my collection. Everything else might fade away a little too soon, and the darkness from the inner corner would peek through, but this one stays in place, and I use just the tiniest amount. I have these two blushes from Too Faced which I want to pick up more. This one is their Cloud Crush Blurring Blush. When someone says blurring and all that, you might be like, huh. But these powder blushes are certainly very blurring. Especially the shade in Velvet Crush is my most used shade. You know, it has a little bit of like a mauvey brown hint to it. It's very long wearing, blurring, okay? It just makes your skin, your makeup look so put together. No matter how heavy handed you go, you don't really go very, very heavy handed with these blushes, at least this particular shade. And then so I also did pick up the shade Cloud Crush, which is a little bit more powdery than that shade, I feel like, especially maybe because of the shade, which is a light pink, but it does translate beautifully on my skin tone. I really like this shade as well. So happy with these blushes. And if someone says, you know, these blushes are not good, I would be like, And then I also got the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, which is something that I've been reaching out for so much. Nice shade of bronzer, which is not too warm, too cool, so works out in like chiseling out my cheekbone as well as adding a subtle warmth to my skin. Nice undertone, shows up pretty well on my skin tone, but if you are any deeper than me, this wouldn't work out for you. A mascara that I have talked about in so many videos. This one is a Too Faced Born This Way, not Born This Way, Better Than Sex mascara, but this is the brown variant and I like it. I like it because it looks nice and it looks more like fresh. You know, some days when you just want to try out a brown mascara, this would look good. It doesn't look powdery, muddy. Oh my god, I'm not even halfway through this video. So next, moving on to Charlotte Tilbury. Again, with Charlotte Tilbury, I do have quite a few products and I'm like, how do I narrow this down? First up, the Hollywood Flawless Filter. I feel like even though there are so many dupes out there in the market, this is still my favorite product to add that subtle glow, especially if you're like going barefaced or you just want to go very minimal in your makeup. This doesn't make you look like Tin Man. It's very, very natural, very beautiful product. I have that in the shade 5 Tan, the contour wand. I have this one in the shade Light, which is a beautiful contour wand because, you know, no matter how intensely you apply this, it blends out in like less than 20 seconds. And usually I have to be very, very careful with the bronzer, like a cream bronzer that I'm using, especially if my foundation is all done, because it looks so stark sometimes that I take a lot of time just blending it, just making it look good. But this one, I applied my foundation and then applied it, and I love the shadow that this could give me. And I pretty much haven't found anything like this in terms of the dupes as well. There are quite similar dupes out there in terms of packaging and all of that, but the formulation is very different. This is not a very pigmented product, which works out for me. I really like it and it's very, very blendable. Because if you're talking about Charlotte Tilbury, you have to talk about the foundation. This is still one of my favorite foundations when I want my skin to look flawless but with coverage. Okay, I know I have a lot of foundations, but if I want like that flawless finish, especially on camera or if I'm going somewhere, this is the one I would reach out for, because you just need one pump of this, and this gives you medium high coverage. This you can go like from good to cakey really fast. If you go anything like over that one pump mark, this would look cakey very fast. So I use just one pump and blend it out with my brush. I don't use a sponge with this one, and most of the times I pair it with the Hollywood Flawless filter itself, and it is so good. Of course, my Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks, which I have 2 shades which are my absolute favorite. Like other shades and all of that, maybe dupeable, maybe I would just like skip on it, but this shade in So 90s, it did come back in stock recently and then again went out of stock. But if you can find this in stock, pick it up, because it's a beautiful shade of like a dusty burgundy with a little bit of brown undertone as well. It's a very beautiful shade, not very unique. Maybe I have a couple of dupes, maybe, you know, but still I love the formulation of this one. It's nice and lightweight, and also the shade M.I.K. This is like my go-to nude shade of late. So this is like a little bit of a mauvey pink shade. And then a recent favorite from Pat McGrath, which is a recent launch. This one is the Pat McGrath stick blush, and I have this one in the shade Fleurotique. It's a nice pink, wearable pink shade, not very pigmented, quite similar to the Pixie blushes I feel like, because it doesn't have that crazy amount of pigmentation, but it has a little bit of dewiness and quite long lasting as well, which I really like. Something you shouldn't skip on is their Skin Fetish concealer. Whew, this is so good. Okay, now compared to this one and the Too Faced Born This Way, I know I get these questions a lot, because okay, if you're recommending the Too Faced, then why should we get this? This is a very creamy concealer. If you feel like the Too Faced one is a little bit too drying for your under eye area, but you still are looking for that amount of coverage, then also really good shade matches, you can try this out. This is what the packaging looks like. These break, like, just if you like keep it in the turn, it'll be broken, because I don't know, something about this is so fragile. I have this one in the shade M15, which is a pretty good match for my skin tone, and I love it for when, like, if you want a little bit of a creamy concealer for dry under eye area and a pretty decent wear time. Again, not as long lasting as my Too Faced concealer, but pretty good. And of course from Pat McGrath, their foundation is also really nice. This is a very thin foundation but with good coverage. Like, it's quite runny, but you get around medium coverage with this one. It is pretty much like a skin like foundation. Again, this I have in the shade M15, which is a pretty good match for my skin tone. And I know every single time I've been like, you know, you don't really have to pick up the Pat McGrath lipsticks, but they're not out of the world, they're not that good and all of that. And something changed. You know, I was like, I spent a lot of my money on these, and these are not like cheap, they're pricey, and I just wanted to use up my makeup products. Okay, so I started to use these shades Flesh 3 and Flesh 5, and I can't stop using them. See, one thing is that it is a very like dupable formulation, and even the shades are very dupable. I have dupes for most of these shades that they have. So when I'm recommending to someone and you're like, okay, am I picking up something worth that price? Is it worth that price tag? Is it like unique? Is it like dupable? I don't know what to say. It's pigmented, it's nice, creamy, very creamy. Like, even if you have very pigmented lips, you would love it. These 2 shades would not look good on you if you have medium tan or deeper skin tone and a little bit of like a darker pigmentation on your lips, because these look a little too brighter on certain skin tones. So I have this one in the shade Flesh 5, which is like a beautiful deep rosy nude shade. And I have this one in the shade Flesh 3, which is more of a brown toned shade. So not much of a difference, very similar, but nice shades to own. And the packaging is really flimsy. Like, one of this bullet, it's coming off, and they also have these like white formations. I'm not sure what that is. It's not fungus. It doesn't smell like that. So when keeping in mind all of this, I don't feel like recommending some things to you because of all of these factors where, you know, the bullet is falling apart and the packaging is not the most sturdy, and again, the formulation might not be very like stable, but the shades are beautiful. There's no denying that. And if you buy it, you would not probably be regretting it. It's not transfer proof, it's not long wearing, it goes everywhere, but it's pigmented, creamy. So if you're used to the Maybelline creamy matte lipsticks, the older formulation, like back in the day, 2 to 3 years ago, it's similar to that. that's everything about Pat McGrath. Let's move on to Bobbi Brown. Bobbi Brown, if there's one product, I absolutely love this color corrector stick. This is in the shade Deep Peach. Works like a charm for my under eye circles. Not again very pigmented, so a little bit of the darkness will peek through, but some color correction is better than no color correction at all. And it's not a drying product, so I like it. And then their vitamin enriched skin tint. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I love this product. It's a nice dewy, lightweight product, lightly pigmented. Works really well for no makeup days, and a good shade match as well. I have this one in the shade medium too, which works out really well for my skin tone. And also their foundation is really nice. Like if you don't really want to try out something that is so lightly pigmented, you wanted a little bit more coverage and very long lasting and for special occasions and all of that, their skin longwear foundation is so good. Okay, it's not an extremely matte foundation, but it's also not too dewy, and it just works out really well. You guys just try this out. And also the shade matches sometimes are so good with Bobbi Brown that it works out for people of color, you know, brown skin tone friendly. And also an underrated product from Bobbi Brown, which I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, is their longwear concealer. This is also a really nice concealer if you have very dry skin and you have mature under eye area and you feel like, you know, Too Faced and all of that. What Too Faced? It's so drying. Try this out. It has pretty good coverage, like medium coverage, and good long lasting power and good blendability and a nice sort of creamy finish. And then when it comes to Estee Lauder, the Estee Lauder Advanced Night Repair Serum just looks so good on my skin that I really like it. Okay, you can also use this underneath makeup, I guess, but I like to use this solely for the skincare benefits, and I just feel like my skin looks a lot more even, a lot more glowy, so I have backups of this product. And then their double wear concealer, really nice long wearing concealer. You can try this out if you want something that is extremely long wearing that can pair well with their foundation again. And if you wanted to avoid it, you can, but this foundation lasts through humidity. It lasts through anything pretty much, you know. It doesn't let the oil seep through, it doesn't let the sweat seep through. So if you have oily skin, live in hot humid conditions, want something that is extremely long wearing without a lot of touch-ups, try this out. I have this one in the shade Cashew, which is a okay match for my skin tone. I feel like it pulls a little too yellow and like olive looking, but yeah, same thing goes with the concealer 3W, which is a little too light for my skin tone, but a nice concealer to wear paired in with that foundation, very long wearing. These are the products I pretty much have tried out from Estee Lauder that I like, and I'm not very intrigued with their products that I want to try out a lot more, you know. And from Clinique, I just have two products. One is their Black Honey lip gloss. I like this over the Almost lipstick. I really like this lip gloss. It's a really nice and hydrating, nice color for my skin tone, and sometimes I like to wear it on its own as well. And then the Clinique Even Better Serum Foundation is one of my favorite foundations. This is such a nice like spreadable foundation. Even just one pump gives you pretty good medium high coverage. It's what I have mixed in with the Lancome foundation. Again, very long wearing. If you live in hot humid climates, you sweat a lot, it wouldn't let that sweat seep through as easily. Okay, and I've heard that people with dry skin don't really like this foundation, but it works out for me. And then from Smashbox, their tinted moisturizer is one of my favorite. This is a very good tinted moisturizer that goes up to like medium coverage, very long wearing. Again, irrespective of the weather condition, you can wear this one. And I also really like their Smashbox Almost on Skin Balancing Foundation. This has a little bit more coverage than the tinted moisturizer, of course, and again doesn't go too matte, too cakey, and doesn't oxidize too much on my skin. I have this one in the shade L30N, which is a pretty good match. I really like it. It's a very skin-like foundation. And another product that I absolutely love from Smashbox is their color corrector. This is in the shade Medium Dark. And then from Benefit, I'm not a very big fan of Benefit products, so I just have their mascaras. I recently tried out their FanFest mascara. Really good mascara, like pretty decent like length, volume and everything. Again, doesn't flake off too much, but not the most long wearing mascara in my opinion, but pretty good. And I also really like their roller lash mascara, which is completely empty. But what I really like Benefit is for their bronzers. I like the Hoola bronzer, the original bronzer, which could be a little bit too light for you if you have medium tan skin tones, but this works out pretty well for my skin tone, and it adds a subtle like sort of shadow to my skin, so it's not a very warm bronzer. For warmth, I really like the Hoola caramel bronzer, which is a perfect shade for my skin tone. It adds the right amount of like bronze that I want, you know, like it looks sun-kissed. It's a good product. And from Benefit, I really like the Professional Primer. Of course, a very dupable product, but I really like the pore filling effect that it gives without looking clumpy, without looking cakey, without like, you know, pilling up on my skin and making the product go on weirdly. The last brand which I like is Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Luminous Foundation. I don't know why still a lot of people don't talk about this foundation, but this is one of the most beautiful looking luminous foundation. It doesn't have any shimmer particles. It's a little bit too dewy, so if you have very like oily skin, I'm not sure if you'd like it, but if you have a lot of lines, pits, mature skin, again, a foundation that will work out really well for you. And again, the shade match is a little bit off. I got this in the shade 360, which is a little too dark for my skin, but I try to blend it with, you know, other foundations and everything. Really nice product. And then I, of course, have to talk about their eyeshadow palettes. I feel like out of all of the eyeshadow palettes I've tried out, there's nothing that can beat this palette. This is a soft glam palette, which is great for people of deeper skin tone. The shimmer shades, matte shades, till date, you know, work out so well. They blend beautifully. The shimmer is not dry down. It still has that same kind of reflex to it. Good product. And of course, Anastasia makes the best brow products. You can try out their brow pomade, you can try out their brow wiz and their brow gel. This is what I used to set my eyebrows today because I feel like my eyebrow hair was all over the place, and it's a nice product. And I know a lot of people don't talk about the Anastasia lipstick. They do make really good shades and really good lipsticks. This is in the shade Blackberry, which could ideally suit my look today, like with this outfit. This is in the shade Blackberry. Okay, let me show you. Nice deep pinkish berry shade, very pigmented, nice soft matte finish on the lips, not too drying. And I also really like the shade called Sugar Plum, a very like wearable nude shade. And then moving on to some of my favorite high-end perfumes, which I will rush through it like this, is of course Giorgio Armani C perfume. I know that they've launched a newer version of this. I'm not willing to try it because, oh my god, 50 ml for 8,000, 9,000 rupees. I'm not going to be spending that much on a perfume, but this I got on a really good discount, and that's the reason I picked it up. This is in this is a 100 ml variant, and it's the most like powdery floral scent, but not at all cloying, not at all nauseating. The most long-wearing perfume I've ever tried out. Like if you spritz this on your fabric, believe me, every single place you store your fabric as well, like your cupboard and everything would smell really nice. It lingers, and like if you wanted good sillage, and if you just want people to stop you and ask you like, what are you wearing? Why are you smelling so good? This, okay, it has a little bit of a powdery floral note, okay, but not at all like nauseating. I'm someone who gets headache very frequently, and that is not giving me headache. And then I have talked about this too many times, but one last time, David of Cool Water Sea Rose variant. Sweet, delicious scent. Sweet but a little bit of floral hits. So good. This is an EDT, but it still is very long wearing and smells really good. Do not get the blue variant because what it initially used to smell like, it's completely changed. It actually smells a little bit like detergent, but get this one. And then I also got the Burberry Goddess perfume, and this is the most like non-nauseating vanilla that I've tried out. Vanilla smelling, vanilla scent. Like it's sweet vanilla but not too strong. It just feels very soothing, very warm, and very like calming. If you wanted to try out vanilla perfumes but you feel like, you know, most vanilla perfumes smell disgusting, something that can be a little bit overpowering is the Sol de Janeiro pistachio and salted caramel perfume. It is a little bit strong, the body mist, like a little too sweet, but I like it. I like all sorts of scents, so I try out everything. It's nice. I got the set of it, which has the Boom Boom cream, this, and the body wash, which is of course in my shower, but it's a good set to pick up. And they've increased the price of these Sol de Janeiro products, which happens so often, and I'm bummed because I should have picked it up when it was a little bit cheaper, because now what it's available on sale is I think what was the original MRP. So, but I'm still planning to pick up a couple of different scents, but I like this. And I also like the Sol de Janeiro Rio Duo aluminum free deodorant, something I use every single day from morning to evening, and it makes me smell really nice. It doesn't like, it's not an antiperspirant, but it doesn't make you smell bad. So yeah, that is pretty much all of the high-end products I wanted to talk to you guys about. And let me know if you want to watch the affordable version, which I will get to filming right now and try to edit and get it up for you guys. But if you want to watch the ultimate hit list and top 3 in each makeup brand for affordable, let me know in the comments down below and I'll get to filming that, because I think by the time you're commenting I would have already filmed it, but it's just an assurance that you want to watch the video. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what are you going to pick up from the sale. If you have any recommendations for me as well, let me know in the comments. Let me know everything in the comments, okay? But don't trash me in the comments. That's not very nice. So yeah, let me know what you want to watch next in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.